How to Retire Early and Rich. And welcome back. In today's episode, this will be a discussion on how to retire early and rich. So, I'm going to talk about how to retire early and rich. What's the most common daydream after you've worked in a job for 10 or more years? For many, it's early retirement. Now, I'm referring to people that are in their 30s, up into their 40s. What do they want to do? They want to retire early and they want to be financially independent. Well, retirement and getting rich is not going to be so easy if the government continues to inflate the money as they're doing as we make this video. It's a real eye-opening experience to try to predict your financial future when we have 9 or 10% inflation raging across the country. So this can be a big problem, especially if you're already in retirement. Now, I give many workshops and the students ask the question, how will we retire? Well, it's going to be a challenge. So I'm going to suggest that you start thinking now about a part-time job. Start thinking about having a side hustle. Start thinking about making a lot more money. Okay, now a part-time venture could supplement your Social Security and any other pension plan that you might have generated. Now, retirees have a real problem because most pension plans don't have a cost of living adjustment. So what are they going to do? They're going to get fixed income, but the prices are going to continue. All right, so the second big question that people ask, and this is no joke, and they're really shocked when they think about it, but when there's inflation, they're worried. All right, what's the question they're going to ask? They're going to be shocked when they get the answer. So the simple question is this: if prices keep going up at the grocery store and for new cars and for utilities and for hard goods, what's going to happen? Well, you're going to have less and less purchasing power. So the government basically is giving money away, or they're spending money they don't have, and so they're inflating the money supply. When they inflate the money supply, that means your money has less purchasing power. So let's look briefly at history. All right, now, I've been doing business for a long time. My first business, I owned a large flight school in Concord, California. Simultaneously, I had a repair facility for airplanes. Now, that was a good business at the time. I later on sold it at I don't want to say a wildly inflated price, but I sold it and made myself money. But each morning on the way to work, as I drove to work, I spent a short time on the freeway, and there was a huge sign. Now, this was 1964. Now, for many of you, you weren't even born in 1964. All right, so this is going to seem ancient to you, but it's the real world. So in 1964, the Ford Motor Company, they invented a new car. It was called the Mustang. All right, it was a beautiful car. It was up on the billboard with beautiful red paint and white interior, had wire wheels, a car anybody would want that was young like I was. Well, sure enough, that car was only $2,495. Well, today that Ford Mustang still has 4 wheels, still seats 4 people, gets about the same mileage, but the new Ford Mustang does not cost $2,495. What does it cost? It costs $60,000 to $70,000. Folks, that's inflation. Now, if you're a newcomer to real estate, I can tell you homes were selling brand new 3-bedroom, 2-bath homes in California, $38,000 to $45,000. Think about that and look at the inflation we have today. What's my point? When you retire, you're going to need $1 million. Why? Because the experts tell us that you're going to need money to supplement your retirement. So let's say you could take 4% out. That means you're going to take, if you had $1 million, take $40,000 a year, add it to Social Security, you're probably going to get somewhere around $60,000. Now, many people that are viewing me right now, they're saying, Ted, I can't live on $60,000 in retirement. Well, then we better start thinking about a solution for all this. So what did I do? Well, retirement accounts, they're not in a situation where they grow with inflation. The money's going to be fixed. So what if you had a $3,000 retirement from a company and that $3,000 you thought was going to keep you well? It's not. It's not going to take care of you, because if the government inflates every year, if they inflate 10%, you have 10% less purchasing power. That means in 10 years, the $3,000 might not buy groceries. The point is, inflation is a problem, early retirement's a problem, and getting rich is a problem. How are you going to solve that problem? Well, we better think about that. I'm a solutions guy, so I'm not a preacher of doom, but we need to start thinking about how we're going to make some money. So let's think about a part-time venture, a side hustle where you can start to make some money and a business is going to be around for a long time. So a couple of hundred years ago, they invented tax liens and tax deeds. And what happened? Well, people weren't paying the taxes. So look, I'm not a pessimist, but I'm going to tell you the good old days that we had for the last 40 years of low inflation, that's all changed. So if you're looking for a decent return on your savings account or your nest egg, well, traditional ways of making money are disappearing. You can't just put that money in the bank and make 1% or 3 or 4%. It's not going to be enough because you're going to have 10% inflation. All right, so many experts say keep buying stocks, get growth stocks, get bonds and those kind of things. Well, that's fine. If you listen to experts, they're also going to tell you they only make 3 or 4%. If you got 10% inflation, you're going to have to make a lot more than 3 or 4% on your savings account. So what's the point I'm trying to make? The point is, I want to give you a solution. The solution is this. You need a part-time venture that's going to help you out. The one I like to buy tax defaulted properties. Why do I like to do that? Because I can buy them low and sell them at whatever the market will bear. Now let's think of what's happened just in the past year. Now in the past year, while I've been recording these videos, in 2021 and 2022, the fuel price, the gasoline price in that 2-year period, actually it's only a 1-year period, went from $2 a gallon to $5 a gallon on the east coast of the United States. I understand it went to $7 a gallon on the west coast of the United States. What's my point? You need to start thinking of a part-time hustle. Yes, a part-time hustle, a side hustle that's going to help you out. So let me tell you what I discovered. 30 years ago, I discovered that I could buy properties that the government was selling that were in tax default. That meant people didn't pay the tax. So what happened? The legislature instructed the county. They enacted laws that said everybody will pay the tax. If they don't pay the tax, they told the county, send the treasurer out, levy the tax, collect the tax. If you can't collect it, confiscate, seize the property, and resell it at auction. Now, when they resell it at auction, they're going to sell it to collect back taxes. They don't sell it to make a profit. They try to collect back taxes. So that means they're going to discount those properties 60%, 70, 80%. Now, if you could buy properties with an 80% discount, how many would you want to buy? As many as you could. You'd want to buy them. Well, I'm going to tell you there will be millions of tax defaulted property. All 3,000 counties across the United States will sell tax defaulted properties. They'll do it at least once a year. In some counties, they do it every single month. So 30 years ago, I discovered it's nothing more than a subset of the regular real estate. Now, what's regular real estate? You know what that is. It's homes, it's buildable vacant lots, it's sometimes small apartments, small farms and things like that, but it's mostly homes. So that's what comes up at these auctions. These are tax defaulted. Now, some of them are junk, some of them are used and abused, and some of them are okay, can move into. So you're not going to buy the junk, you won't do that, but used and abused, maybe a little paint, a little fix-up, then you could sell that property for whatever you want. Are they going to have enough properties for everybody? Yes. I've never been to an auction where they could sell all the properties. So it's nothing more than a subset of the regular real estate industry. It's been around for 200 years. All right. So when these properties go to default, it's a big problem for the county. What's the problem for the county? Well, the county needs money. They have to pay the school teachers. They have to pay the county employees. They have to pay the police. They have to pay the fire department. If people don't pay their property tax, the county won't have money. So the treasurer is instructed by the legislature, who enacts all the laws for the state, go out and collect the tax. If you can't collect the tax, collect the property, confiscate it, and resell it. So these are tax defaulted real estate properties. They've been doing this for over 200 years. All right, now you could do this as a subset of the real estate business. All right, I'm not going to just say anybody can do it, but someone with a little bit of savvy and a little bit of training could buy these properties for pennies on the dollar. Now, if they discount 60, 70, and 80%, that means you could buy for 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents on the dollar. What if you could get a decent property for 30 cents on the dollar? And let's say it had a value that you paid $30,000, but it was worth $80,000 or $90,000. The difference is the profit. That's the margin. You can make that money. So we teach people how to do that on a regular basis. All right, now the treasurer is going to auction those properties whether you show up or not. This is going to happen in every county across the United States. All 3,000 counties are going to auction these properties, and when they start the bidding, it will be 60, 70, 80% below the market price. All right, so I'm Ted Thomas. Right below me, there's an auction calendar. If you'd like to have an auction list, I have a free auction list there. You can go right below me, and if you get registered, you can get yourself a free auction list, and we have every county in the United States. If they have one that's available for your county, you'll be able to do that. If nothing else, you can get an auction list and see what's going on. This is going on in all 3,000 counties, and you need to learn how to do it. I'm Ted Thomas.